Hey guys, Steven here. Thought I'd do Reno Part 2. Alright, I'll get to you later. Looks like it's gonna start raining, so I'd better get this story done. Or this part of the story done. So anyways, hold on, I gotta let Spock in. He's whimpering. Here we go. Alright, on to the story. Well, part 2 of this story. Part 1 was mostly based on being chased. Part 2 is a bit newer than the being chased one. So, anyways, I remember Reno would always knock over the trash can, get into the trash. Mostly caused him to be banished outside for a little bit. Anyways, Reno was a lost ops. Just an ordinary lost ops who enjoyed knocking over the trash can. Same with Kip, who wasn't even created yet. But anyways, on to this story. Reno is also a biter. Since I've heard a lot of lost opses are mean, found out he was a biter. Even when we tried to pet him, he'd bark and bite at the same time. He'd at least bite onto the skin, but wouldn't go through it or anything. Unlike Brownie, Punk, Abby, and Spock. One time Spock bit me and it broke the skin. But anyways, back on topic. It was just every time Reno would knock over the trash while we weren't home. He did this every time. Like every time I got home from preschool, the trash was knocked over. So we often gave him a timeout outside. Sometimes I was with him, sometimes I wasn't. But anyways, there were a few times he didn't even do it, but lately, like, every time we'd leave, and come back, he'd either be asleep, or he'd either knocked over the trash can and went through it. I remember this one time both me and Reno got a timeout at the same time. I remember once me and my mom were visiting this tutoring place because it has like a store along with it. I've been tutored there before, but it hasn't been in a few years, maybe 3, or whenever I got out of 6th grade. But anyways, we had just left the store, and I was right behind my mom, just holding the door and ready to close it. And I thought I had locked it, so I made sure I didn't. And my mom thought I was locking it, and I was really checking to make sure I didn't lock it. So she told me as soon as we got home, I'd be in timeout. And when we got home, Reno had knocked over the trash can, so he was in a timeout. This was like around, he was 15, like how I am right now, or 16. Golly, clear my throat a lot. Now on to the biting part, where he wouldn't, knock over the trash can every day. You'll get to hear more and more. But sometimes when we reached over to pet him, he'd bite us. Like I said, not through the skin, but at least on the skin. And one, I was playing outside, minding my own business. Reno is, and has always been in the house, but he was laying on the floor, like not far from the door. My sister was in my dad's recliner, which was always next to the door. Now we have a section also, yeah. But anyway, she fell off the recliner, and Reno was asleep. Woke up and bit her. And my mom kicked him out with a broom. And he had to deal with another timeout. Plus some more of a flashback with he'd be a lazy guy. He'd always sleep. But I'll tell you all that in Reno Part 3. Which will not come out eventually, but yeah, it'll come out soon. Right. If you enjoyed this part of the story, you want to hear the rest? I'm full of it. Right. Subscribe, thumbs up, talk to y'all later.